Welcome back everybody to another video on this Z. Previously I had said that I was going to pull the oil pan to swap it out with an NA one that I'm going to modify to work with the twin turbo setup. So to do that we have to drop the subframe. So in this video I'm going to be showing you guys how to drop the subframe. It's been a while since I've done it, so it's going to be kind of learning for me again, because I don't remember exactly what I did, but I'm pretty sure I could figure out how to do it. So I'm going to be showing you guys how to drop that, and then once we get the oil pan off, we can check to see if there's any rod bearings that are bad that I might have missed when I had the engine out, which I'm really thinking that it's not going to be that. I'm hoping that it's just that the oil pan is right where the pickup tube is at, like where the dent is at. Well, there's a dent, and also that's the same spot that it got welded at. And I remember the weld kind of came up a little bit from where the oil pan's at, and that might be right where the pickup tube is at. So that's what I'm hoping for. But if that's not the case, then yeah, this engine's coming out and probably just end up rebuilding the bottom end. Anyways, now let's just get to dropping the subframe so we can see what's going on in the oil pan. First thing, just get your wheels off. Now that we got our wheels off, we need to go under the car and see what we got to take off. So for sure, we're gonna have like lower control arms, and I think they're called radius rods or something like that. That we're gonna have to get off. But there's gonna be some suspension parts that you're gonna have to remove. Okay, so from what I could see, I could either take lower control arm off from this side or from this side, whichever side I want. And then right here, this is that rod. I believe it's called a radius rod. We're gonna need to remove that. And then I think that honestly might be it for suspension. For suspension parts, maybe something on the other side. But it looks like just this one. It's radius rod, lower control arm, and I think that's it for suspension. And then from there, let's see, from there you're gonna have to remove your motor mount bolts that are down here by the lower control arm. And then you got another set of bolts up here that are gonna go from subframe to frame rail. So that looks like the main part to it. Aside from that, I could just see like a few little 10mm bolts that are up on the subframe. There might be a few other things, but besides that, oh wait, the rack and pinion. How I forget that one. Once I get a little bit lower, I can see what's up with the rack and pinion. I'm not sure if I might be able to just undo the tie rods and the steering shaft. How did I forget that? That's pretty stupid. Anyways, first thing I'm gonna do, get the tie rod bolts off, both on each side. Next, I'm doing the lower control arm up at the subframe instead of up over at the ball joint. And then I'm gonna be taking this radius rod off. At least I'm bolting it from the lower control arm so that I can move it around. I think that'll be the easiest, but that's what I'm gonna try, and we'll see how that goes. All right, now we need to get this guy off right here. It's not. I guess you could do it from either one. There's a top bolt and a bottom bolt. You could do whichever you want to do, but that's the next one I'm about to do. And then we should have two hoses here. Let's see if I can see them. There's two bolts right there. It looks like one's like a 24 and then the other one's like a 14. Those are the hoses that go up to the power steering pump. Alright, so now I think everything unbolted from underneath. It was really hard to get an angle on the for like the camera to point up at those banjo bolts that go to the steering rack. There's one, honestly not sure what size it was. I could probably pull it out and figure it out, but it's bigger than a 22 but smaller than a 24. Yeah, I don't know. I ended up using a crescent wrench on there because I couldn't find a in-between size. But anyways, I got those two off. Then there's two connectors under there, and I'm not sure if that's just because it's a twin turbo or if the NAs have the same thing. There's two connectors that are under there that I had to undo. And then I also undid the motor mount bolts already, so those are loose. The next thing you gotta do is so you gotta support the engine somehow, because the subframe is what holds the engine up. Before you drop the subframe, you gotta put something up to support the engine. And normally, you would have a tool, like some sort of tool up here that goes over the engine, and it sits like right up here, kind of on the strut tower area. And in the center, it would have a chain or something to hold the engine up. I don't have that, so I wanted to see if I could figure something out with that. I have the engine hoist over there, so I could just use that. That's the easy way, right? But the thing with that is that the legs for the engine hoist are going to be in my way when I'm underneath. So I'm trying to figure out something else that I could do so that I don't have to use the engine hoist. Maybe I've done before, but it was on a lift. I dropped the subframe and I put one of those, I don't even know what you call them. It's like a screw jack for the lifts. And I put that on the transmission, and on the transmission closest to the engine, like the spot, kind of like the bell housing area. And I put that up there. So I'm thinking maybe I could do the same, but with the jack stand. So lift the engine up, put a jack stand underneath it, and then drop it and see if it holds it, hopefully. So yeah, the proper way would be to get that tool, but I'm not gonna go buy that tool just for this one time that I'm gonna use this. Like I'll probably never use it ever again. But anyways, I'll be right back once I figure out what I'm gonna do. Ended up using the engine hoist because I tried to put a jack stand under where the transmission was at, and you could just tell that once I lowered it, the engine was still like tilting down this way, and I don't know how far forward it's gonna go. So did this. The hoist legs are gonna be in my way on one side, but that I think will be okay. I think I could deal with that. So now I lifted it up a little bit, and I can unbolt the subframe bolts and then see what else we run into. But I think it should all just come down. It's still on the steering shaft is still on the rack, but as it goes down, it should slide off. There it is, subframe out. Really wasn't too bad. Maybe while I'm here, I'll do the rack and pinion. Maybe. The smart thing would be is to get this rebuilt or replace it, but we'll see if I actually end up doing it. Well, the engine's still up. That's a good thing. But now we can get to seeing what's up inside the engine. We got to drop the oil pan. All right, so here's the oil pan off now, and not a good sign to be seeing. Like I cleaned all this oil pan up, and the oil looks very gray right here. The spots where it was like where it settled down. So that is not good, because all this here is gray, but this, I completely cleaned out this oil pan, so I know I didn't leave any crap behind. Oil's clean, but oh wait, what's this? Oh, nothing. Where is it? Oh, it looks like a little piece of silicone. So that's not good. So after seeing that, I'm pretty sure we're gonna end up finding probably a bad bearing. Probably. So we'll see what we find right now. It's kind of crazy to think though, because I mean, I checked all of them beforehand, and none of them had any sort of plate, like at all. Like they all seem really good. That's why I'm kind of confused as to why it started making that noise. But I don't know. This is just this is the stuff that happens when, you know, you're building stuff, building cheap stuff. I mean, yeah, this kind of stuff happens. So whatever. Just gotta keep at it. Finish fixing it, or rebuild, whatever we gotta do. But we're gonna figure something out. So, and we'll see what we find right now on the bottom end. Now, well, we got that off. Let's see if we find anything right now. If we see anything out of place, I don't see why we should, but something's wrong. Just gotta figure out what the hell it is. Oh, I think it's this one. How the hell did I miss that? Yes, I don't know if if it's picking that up, but I mean, that's quite a bit of movement. Oh man, I really hope the crank didn't get messed up. It was crazy. This thing looks like it's been rebuilt. Like everything looks brand new in here compared to the one that I had in the car. The one that blew up looked like I already had like 200,000 miles. Okay, so that's that's one. Let's see if I can get my hand in here to the other ones. I have a feeling it's just gonna be this one. How crazy! That's the one that's down. pretty nuts. Well, luckily we didn't. I mean, I did run it for quite a while. I didn't rev it anymore after the first bit, but I still think it's really crazy that when I initially turned it on, it made no noises. I revved it, it sounded perfectly fine. And then now, I mean, not now, the next day, it started knocking like that. I mean, this is quite a bit of movement. This was already there. This couldn't have happened just from one little bit of, you know, few revs that I did. I feel like that would have happened to all of them, not just this one. All right, well, I guess we'll see what happens when I take this cap off. Maybe the crank is still okay, and maybe we could do something with this. But I mean, worst case, we just pull this out and have the bottom end rebuilt. So we'll see. Let me see what I find right now once I get this cap taken off. I decided on I'm just gonna pull the engine. I was gonna take that rod cap off and see how bad the damage was, if the rod bearing got completely tore up and messed up the crank. I was gonna take that off and see if maybe it wasn't too bad, and I was just gonna toss another rod bearing on there. But I decided I'm just gonna pull the engine. I'll show you guys once I have this engine out and take it all apart. I'll show you what it looks like. But I decided I'm just gonna do it right, take this apart, send it off to the machine shop. They can, you know, polish the crank, tell me what kind of bearings I need, what size pistons I'm gonna need, and then we could rebuild it. But yeah, I'm just gonna do it right this time and not have to worry about it when I do it again, or hopefully not have to worry about it. Cross fingers. So that's gonna be it for this video. The next time you guys see this, I'll already have it out. I'm not gonna record any of that because it's gonna be repetitive just seeing me pulling the engine in and out. But yeah, next time you see it, it'll already be out of the car, probably already be torn down, and we might be on the way to take it to the machine shop. So until next time, guys, I hope you guys are enjoying this, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.